Hello and welcome back to Brickin. We're going to start with a question. Have you ever made a build by accident? Well, that's exactly how this one started, and it was all because this piece showed up in my inventory and it led us to an entire astronomy tower. So first things first, as I said, this piece arrived in the inventory and I had no idea what I was going to do with it, and I noticed it was part of the astronomy tower and the official release of that set, so I thought maybe I can make my own. So as I usually start with an 8x16 base on my modules, that's what I started with. Little did I know where this would lead. Now these securing plates are odd angles on the bottom because they need to fit into the lids of the modules below, which happen to be the Gryffindor common room and dormitory. As I said, this build happened by accident. That's why this is not a full 8x16 plate. There's a good chance I'm going to replace these smaller plates with that, just to get a better look, and it means I can move the astronomy tower around if I need to. Not that I ever would, because of its unique shape. So we're going to add in this half round, even up the base underneath, and then the thing that started it all. Get this build going. So it referred heavily to the I've messed it up already. No, I haven't. I referred heavily to the original astronomy tower model, and I took a lot of the elements involved in that, but I needed to make it match the size of my Hogwarts, and I started trying to replicate the original one. I realised that it just looked ridiculous sat up where it was, so I just expanded it out, made it a bit wider. So that the footprint was basically the same as what I had for the rest of my modules, which is the 8x16. Just pop these all in. So this is what I started with for the first level. Now I believe in the original this area is taken up with a Ravenclaw dormitory, I think. But as we were in the astronomy tower, I decided this was going to be the astronomy classroom. They can't spend all their time looking through telescopes, surely. Some desks and some more seating. Professor Sinistra is in place to teach the class. As I said, I replicated a lot of the pieces from the astronomy tower set, including the astrolabe. And for those purists amongst you, this is going to be placed in entirely the wrong position, because it's just going to take up this bit of space down here, if it will go on. Come on, what are you doing? There we go. Lovely. It just fills up that area quite nicely. So that was easy enough. We've got the classroom and we've got the windowed area. Then what I had to finish off. And we need to go taller. Put the next level in. Now obviously on the original tower this clearly isn't to scale, but this area here, just beyond the main frontage of the building and before the tower, the curved tower starts, there's a small battlement area. It's actually a little walkway, and I experimented with going a bit wider and actually putting in a walkway there, but it just looked overpowering. It blocked the view of the next level of the tower, so I left it. We're just putting those little detail pieces, a row of plates here just to even things up, and then the far side of our viewing wall, and when the castle's open this is the direction we view the classroom from. Lots of classroom without a few students. There we go. So that's the first level of our astronomy tower, featuring the astronomy classroom. So the next level starts with one of our usual 8x16. And here we're going to start building up the slope of the front wall of the tower. So we have the circular viewing window. If you're familiar with the astronomy tower in the movies, this is usually where the astrolabe would sit, right in the middle here, and it's much bigger. It takes up the whole room. It's a really big piece of scenery, but obviously with the smaller astronomy tower as produced, it couldn't be so big. With our tower, the normal size one just gets a bit lost in all of this extra territory, but I did want all this extra room for when I'm setting scenes up here. As we know, there's a fairly famous scene in book 6 that takes place in the astronomy tower. I'm aware that some people, even in this day and age, may not have read all of the books. I'm not going to mention that event, but we do want to be able to fit plenty of minifigs up in this area. I feel that I've made a terrible mistake. Brain freeze. Got it. Okay. So this isn't going to take us all the way to the top. We're going to have another floor before we go much higher. We've just got to put us some, as you can see, we've got these supporting pieces here. But we are going to be starting our roof level. Just need some of these to support our roof plate. And this unusual piece just on the end, just to cap the edge of where our roof is going to be. On the other side, nope, mistake. Oh, the joy of building from memory, trying to build without instructions. Right, let's try that again. This bit here is going to support the other side of our roof. And we've got this little structure pre-built. You can see we've got a slant on there. And the roofs in this module are dark bluish grey, because not all the shapes that I ended up using are available in sand green, so it's going to be a different colour. That's the first part of our roof. next level. Just here in front of the window, I've got another one of the mini builds from the Astronomy Tower. It's going to be one of our telescopes. It's going to sit here just in the window. Making good use of that space. As you can see, I've put some stickers on the outside just to break up those large expanses of featureless tan. I've used these glazed windows, which I believe come from the micro scale Hogwarts castle, just to make it look a bit more fancy, as it's an entirely unique module. Made it look a little bit different. Now we're going to start building the next level of the side tower. So we'll start off with the base. And then the first part that's going in is this main spread of windows. It's just one of these macaroni style curves on the 4x4 radius. Got a pillar and then a little snot brick at the top of each pillar. Just going to fit there like that. Clips onto the base. It's currently obviously only secured by this 1x piece, and we need to finish the circle round. So here's some more, maybe some tile and plates just to get a little windowsill to smooth it off like the rest of the radius. It's going to fit in there to provide a little more strength. And the wall's going to continue across. Just cap off there. Like that. Now this will all be integrated over the next couple of levels. Another bit of wall there. Oops. So it's all a bit loosey-goosey to start with. There we go. Okay, let's build up that next level. You can see we've got a plate here. I'll put one of these, a clip with one of those finials in there. Another one here. At each point around the arch, I'm going to put one of those. Just to turn these square windows into arches, we've got these pieces again, just the same as we find in the Astronomy Tower. One of these elbow pieces, one of these angled curves, a small tile at the bottom, but we've got to put a little stud extra on the back just to help these radius out just a little bit further. Let's get around this corner. There we go. Then on to the next piece. So next up, we're going to start integrating all of these pieces, making them a little bit more secure all the way around. We've got this next piece, which is a little base that's built up. Got a sort of like a faux arch arrangement going on because this is going to sit here at the front. Just going to pop that on there. Start securing our next level and giving us our viewing platform. And over here on this side, we've got plate up there. The top of the tower, just got a curved base to follow a radius, square one to integrate into the rest of the piece. And that towel goes all the way up to the top using another one of those windows. I'm going to pop that into there. We can start building up the next level. So to fill this gully here, just got a little arched banister. It's just going to sit on this side. Just over here. See if we can adjust the camera for a slightly better look at what's going on. There we go. And on this side, we have another one. Just a little detail going on there. There we go, that makes more sense. Put that on there like that. We're ready for finishing off the front of the building. So let's fill in this piece just here. That doesn't feel right. So for this next piece, just going to slide this arrangement of offset plates up through here. Because I built it in the wrong order. Secure in there like that. Oh, it just slipped. And then the rest of our tower can come in here. You can see, unlike the original build, which uses the 2 high slopes, I've used this 3 high slopes all the way up, which gives us a much taller tower, but I do like the proportions and the shape a lot more. Carried on with these windows here. Got a double snot brick in the front, and you'll see what that's for in a moment. That goes all the way up to just the top of our roof, where we have this little piece here. So this is just a Technic brick, and we've got a normal 1x2 just studded in sideways in there. This is just going to form the cap of our roof. So let's just insert this. Which way around are we? Obviously this way. And it's going to finish off our slope. And then on either side, got a couple more pieces of roof, and these are just on an angle plate. So these come down here, and that lines up beautifully with that one on the lower level. And on the other side, you appear to be short a stud. I found it. I put it in the wrong place, because over on this side you need to add this little decorative tower, and that stud that I'd lost was sitting in the place where this little 1x3 tile goes. That allows us to secure our tower into the side here. That's what we have so far. And of course this other piece of roof will come in on this side. Let's have a little look from a little higher up. There we go. So that's our roof slopes, and this little arrangement here will sit on the top. To fill in this side here, so this is our viewing angle usually, so I wanted it removable, and it explains why we've got this strange piece here. We've just got one of these large 6x12, I think, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yeah. And it just sits in there, and that's held in by the roof pieces all around it. And it completes our slope. Then up on this next platform, we're just going to pop in a sextant, again as seen in the release version of the Astronomy Tower, and then this alternate telescope build, which was from the previous edition of the Astronomy Tower. Just to change things up a bit, it's quite a meaty telescope. It takes up a lot of the viewing platform. So there we go. So just a few finishing touches. We'll pop on the top of that detail tower there. On the front of the building, display a bit of school pride. That's the main tower finished. You can see it's very similar to the original, just on slightly grander scale. So let's integrate that into our previous level. So we're back with our classroom. Let's bring in our tower, falling apart as we handle it. This is going to pop on all the way around. Now this is not a modular section, this is fully integrated. As it's at the top of the castle, it's never going to be able to be repositioned anywhere else. So it's always going to be this tall. On there. Put our little detail pieces back. I managed to pull off while handling. There we go. Couple of last bits. Got the bottom of this tower. Integrating there. And then on the front, you see we've got these snot bricks. That's to hold this piece. Just the same as the original Astronomy Tower. I've just beefed it up a little bit at the back where it overlaps. It secures to our snot bricks just there. Oh, one of our students is escaping. So it's still run. There we go. So let's see if we can get a nicer angle on this. There we have it. A full Astronomy Tower build. Nice and tall and impressive. All right, let's take a look at it in our castle. So here we are back at the castle. Here's our new clock tower that we built recently, along with the owlery. And here we see our Astronomy Tower, which was so big. You see that hook on the wall? I had to take my clock down because it was interfering with the hands. That's the overall height of our castle now. Let's open it up and see how it integrates on the inside. I'm just doing some polyjuice potions. It must mean we have a year 2 scene. Yeah, there's Lockhart in Defence Against the Dark Arts. Up through our levels, we find our way into the Astronomy Tower, which just goes on forever. So there's our castle as it stands. Still got an empty hole here. If you've got any suggestions for a small module that can go at the top. When we close up, we've just got these 2 little roofs sitting here as well. That's another 8x8 module that can be filled. So if you have a comment on what could go in there to complete our castle skyline, you can leave a note in the comments. If you'd enjoyed this video, please leave us a like. Share this video, it really helps us grow the channel, gets more eyes on our builds. And if you'd like to see more Hogwarts MOC builds, please subscribe to Brickin. Bye bye.